Hi, I'm Will Cedric.
I'm Gabe.
And this is Inside the Bot. Hey Gabe.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What are we doing here? We shouldn't be here.
I'm not really sure.
There's no show.
There's no news. There's no Inside the Shop. Well, there's a little bit of Inside the Shop, but
Yeah,
we'll save that.
We're not doing that. So, but you wanted when you said, I know that BattleBots is on hiatus.
I'm being ridiculous here.
What?
Of course there's news.
What is it?
We've got new sound equipment.
The news should only be about the new sound equipment. So I'm going to say that we'd love to hear some feedback from you guys to see if you've actually noticed that we've spent money on equipment and does it make a difference. That would be great. Email into
insidethebot@gmail.com.
There you go. That'd be great to hear from you. Okay, but what are we doing? What's this about? Because there's no BattleBots. So what are we doing?
No, this is a bit of a special.
Oh, a special. I love a special.
There's a little known roboteer
Yep.
called Gabriel.
That's me. Oh, by the way, I was on the radio this morning, so that was exciting, yes.
Is being in the studio here more or less of a professional setting?
Well, I think actually with what we've got here, I was disappointed with their microphones.
Yeah?
They were mismatched, and, well, I don't want to knock them, but, you know, they obviously had run out of money.
Obvious, BBC, right?
And they didn't have these, like, little suspenders.
Do you mean the boom, or do you mean the
thing that microphones held in.
Oh, okay.
The elastic.
The shock absorber.
Exactly. That's all exciting. Anyway, what are we talking about? Let's not talk about that. We haven't got the time to mess about with these people. Have got busy lives.
Yeah, it's true. Let's get into Gabe's robot history.
Oh, my robot history.
Let's take me back.
Take you back?
Take me back.
How do we start? Is that what you want to know?
Tell me, Grandad, when did you start building robots?
Grandad?
Yeah.
I'm not even old enough to be your dad.
We've worked it out. You could be.
Your mum, yeah, exactly. She babysat. No, what are we saying?
Stop.
Leave it. Anyway, okay.
I'm furious.
I think I watched, let me think now. I watched Series 3. I saw a Razor, and I thought, that is an awesome robot. And I got so excited by seeing Razor. So I was going to say that Ian is my inspiration. Ian Lewis is my inspiration for building a robot. But at the same time, I wanted to build a robot, but I didn't have a clue how to even begin.
Okay.
So I thought, what do we need? What size do we need? How's it going to look? What's it going to...
So back then, how do you even start doing that? Because now we've got the internet.
Okay, so what I have to do then is, we had the internet then, by the way. It wasn't like it didn't exist.
It wasn't really as good, though.
It was rudimentary at
It didn't have
best.
Facebook.
Well, no, but you still had other things. So you could buy motors, you could buy bits and pieces,
Yeah.
But not specifically for Robot Combat because it was totally new. So really you had to go and find either wheelchair motors or something else, or golf trolley motors. Razor used golf trolley motors at that time. And I thought to myself, well, I want to use stuff, but I don't want to use wheelchair motors because they're not very good. So I got these sort of military spec motors, which I thought were awesome at the time, and they looked good. But the main thing that I really liked about them was they were cheap.
What were they for?
I haven't got a clue. They were off some like military servo something.
What were you using them for, though?
For the drive of the
drive,
robot.
okay.
Yeah. So we got those, and then we thought, I want to have a spinning like drum. I want a drum.
Yeah.
And my first design had a drum. But at the time, when I went to start making it, without the equipment, it's incredibly difficult to make a drum.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a bar, an axle with bars welded to it, which is not what I wanted.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
I always,
like a flail. It was a flail, right?
Yeah, not really a flail because it had fixed bars on it. However, I always really wanted a drum, and I think that probably that was a very early drum design, and I pity I didn't make it, but it was because I lacked the machining. You know, the machine or the machines needed to make that, so it was just impossible to do.
Yeah.
So and then we wanted it to drive it, and I didn't want to drive it with an electric motor because that was rubbish. So I thought,
at the time they were rubbish.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, I'm going to get a petrol engine.
Okay.
That's going to be great.
And how did that turn out?
And do you know what the engine with electric start? When we went to Robot Wars with electric start. And they went, oh, go on then, do your engine. Because everyone else who had engines was pull cords and I hated them. We went, no worries, buddy. Wait till it gets in the arena and then I'll start it. And they're like, how are you going to do that? And I went on the switch and give it some throttle. And they went, oh, that's amazing. And the dude he got a little bit excited.
Oh, yeah.
And Anyway, so my dad did special effects for films and model making for films.
Yep.
And Doctor Who and lots of bits and pieces. So when we were small, we grew up and we played with Batmobiles in studios and all sorts of stuff.
I was in the actual Batmobile.
What's that?
As in the actual Batmobile.
They were in the parking lot, yeah, exactly. So that was exciting.
Nice.
So that's where my robot starting building happened, and he helped loads with that, and then various engineers, and we did a lot of scrounging and scrapping about, and all our original robots. So Sabretooth version 1, version 2, version 3 were all built pretty much like no real design, just, well, that's a lie. They had a design, but
Little pictures.
little drawings, little models. I've always made a scale model. I love a scale model. So I've always made one. But however, when I was younger, the scale models never really they looked a bit like the final one, but not really the final one, because it was very much like that bit goes there, weld that bit on there, put that bit there, that's going to be cool. So yeah, that's how I started building robots. And when it went off TV, I stopped. So I had probably 10 years of a break from robots and didn't do anything. Live scene was happening, but I wasn't really interested in it because they didn't do spinners. I do love a spinner.
Yep.
And so that was it. And then about 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to do it again. And the featherweight scene is
Good time to start back up.
It was amazing, actually. I don't know what it was. Someone said to me, just there was a divine intervention there. Maybe someone said, build a robot. And then I've only done 2 gadget shows, and that was it. So 2 years ago.
Oh, that explains why they're so bad.
Exactly. That's terrible. Anyway, so doing the featherweight robots is where I learned, again, really, that's how I learned to do roboteering properly, I reckon, from doing the featherweights.
So that with CADs and...
Starting to use CAD, and I say I didn't use CAD, I started to teach myself CAD, and I got other people to help me. Wranglebox.com, he's helped me. Alice has helped me lots. He'd helped me designed the first decent.
And I'll allow that
flipper
today because we allow our guests to mention sponsors.
Okay, and we'll do some more in a minute. Anyway, so that's how I really started, and that's how I really started to really up my robot game.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's go through them then.
Okay.
You got Sabretooth 1.
They're all called Sabretooth. I don't have versions.
Well, they do in your head though.
So version 1.
Series 5?
Series 5.
How did it do?
Went out in the first round.
Okay. So we got
against a wooden tank.
Against the wooden tank.
To be honest, he did have an illegal entanglement device, which is what broke our weapon.
Okay. And what was the name of that tank?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember.
You're the worst fan ever.
Yeah, I don't care.
It was called Evolution.
Evolution.
And you went out to that?
Yeah. I remember the dude didn't have any hair.
I remember that too.
Yeah, that was it. You don't, because you were probably 12.
No, I've watched it on YouTube.
Okay.
It's available on YouTube.
Excellent.
Look out for that.
There you go.
So then, number 2.
Number 2 was a redesign, new design for robot.
Series 6.
Series 6. That's the one that had the 125 engine in it. Again, first round. Now, remember, you had to fight off TV to get on TV, first of all. So I had won some fights. First round in this one.
Yep.
Actually, what happened here was radio...
Sounds like you're getting ready, setting us up for disappointment there.
radio interference problem with that one. And it didn't work. It didn't even drive around. That robot's moving in the arena. I'm not controlling that robot.
Who did you fight in that one?
I fought Terahertz in that one.
Okay.
And a kill...
Oh yeah, Terahertz broke like your little...
He stove the top in. We owe him for that. We're going to have to give him some love for next time.
Okay.
Mr. John Reed.
Although your robot's quite exposed at the top, I think he'd have some fun there.
He might have some fun with an exposed top. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so you lost against Terahertz?
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the wooden tank one, but...
That illegal entanglement device, I maintain that's an issue. Greg would be furious with that. He would go crazy.
He doesn't run Robot Wars.
I would have gone like Will Bales and looked at the ref and gone, what the hell? And then the ref would have stopped it. The dude would have been spanked in his butt. He would have been ejected, and then I would have won.
That's how they do things over there.
Exactly. That's the proper way of doing things.
So I think we're on to your third Sabretooth.
Third Sabretooth didn't go to TV because it was just mental. It
was mental.
It was too powerful. It had a big old rip in its back end, and the disc was pulling a phenomenal amount of revs, and it used to lift the front of the robot up in the air, and like a chopper.
Quality design.
But that was the problem. It was viciously powerful, and I wasn't completely convinced of.
When you made it, did lightning strike and you cackled?
I remember testing it in the shed with Rob one time.
Okay.
And we were right next to it because in those days health and safety wasn't much of a thing. We had cut the exhaust down, so it was just literally. And it's a 125 petrol engine.
So you're in a shed basically killing yourself.
17 horsepower, right, with a really dodgy oil mix in the petrol. And we revved it up. And Rob, I've talked about Rob before. He loves a bit of... He doesn't stop, right?
This is Rob Pickford, your teammate.
He's on the throttle, okay? I've started up with the radio control. Rob's got the throttle. And I can control the throttle. However, he puts his hand over the servo and just winds it open. And this thing... It's not strapped down, it's in a shed. It's in like a shed that's probably like 6 feet wide.
Oh my God.
And as it revs up more and more and more, I look at Rob and the pair of us are ducking down below the blade as it's spinning more and more and more and going crazy. And then as we're getting low to the floor, and then I went, Rob, stop it. And then we looked up, the whole shed's full of exhaust. And we've gone out and gone, that was so dangerous. And then at the same time, then whooping about and getting very excited because, we're young and crazy.
Because it worked.
And then it worked like amazingly well. And that was a 125. That was a beast. I think there's some lost souls up there. I can hear them. Oh, where the bejesus?
This new audio equipment is haunted.
It is haunted. So anyway, that was it. And we didn't go on TV with that one. Rebel Wars started to sort of die a death at that point.
Yeah.
I think there was a Series 8, but I'm not sure, maybe, but I wasn't on that one. And lots of people didn't go to that one.
Yeah, you'd given up by then.
It just wasn't the same.
Okay. Oh, you can even hear me.
That was weird. He itched his beard. So for Mouldy out there, that was a beard itch on the fabulous beard. And you can take a loan of that.
He heard that and he said, ooh.
He went, right, it's enough of the top itching your beard. Yeah, I did a weird face. Next question. You're in an interview. I'm not a host at the moment. You're going to lead this.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this, though.
Go on then.
I'm a pro.
I'm not Lydia, though. Remember that.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm not going to be falling for your charms, is what I'm saying.
You always fall for my
charms. I know. I can't help it. But you asked a question.
So we've gone through your previous Sabretooths. Should we talk about this one?
So this one here. So first of all, let me talk to you about how I went through for Robot Wars. Okay. So first of all, it's probably impossible to build a robot from scratch in 6 weeks. It's not impossible, but you'd have to do a lot of work for it.
Just the design and build, of course. Yeah.
Now,
just getting the parts alone would be...
So I'd already applied to BattleBots.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I'd already put together a scale model, and I decided that, because Robot Wars didn't exist when I applied to BattleBots, it hadn't even been thought of. So there was nothing, it wasn't even on the horizon. And I thought, I really want to get into heavyweights again. I'm going to apply to BattleBots, and I'm going to, even though probably... Do you know what? For BattleBots, it's an American show. It needs to have mostly American people, so it's probably going to be a very thin chance. However, I really want to go through the application process.
Yeah.
If I don't have a go, then I'll never know. So I actually had designed Sabretooth originally for BattleBots.
With that in mind. Yeah.
With that in mind. So the design had already been done, and then I was unsuccessful for BattleBots, and that's cool because they already had a lot of drum spinners already.
You look at some of that Hypershock.
Yeah, do you know what?
Quite similar to your robot.
It is similar to my robot. So, and you can't have too many. And Greg was great. He rung up. Actually, do you know what was amazing? That Greg rung me up. He doesn't know who I am. There's loads of people.
He rang me up once.
I know he did. But,
he's great.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
Is he ever off the phone?
That's the human touch, isn't it? Because then he went like, with the application, he rung up and he said, no, I'm really sorry you haven't got it. These are the reasons why. And I was so like, oh, that's amazing. And the fact that he'd rung up and taken the time to call me was brilliant. So I was totally stoked with that, really, and that was enough. It's like, oh my God, Greg's rung me up.
Didn't even have to go to America.
Exactly, to talk to him. Anyway, so that was it. And then Sabretooth was shelved and it was fine.
But you had the design.
I still had the design. But then Robot Wars was announced. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, I haven't got much time, and I have got a robot in the shed.
Oh, yes.
I got my special one in the shed.
Bought one on eBay.
Bought one on eBay. eBay find and I rescued it from an old people's home. And honestly, it was really strange.
You're using it as a coffee table.
It was propped up in one of the spare bedrooms. It was That's just weird. So strange. And the dude who'd owned it, he couldn't really remember when he'd fought it or anything about it. And because he was quite old, bless him. No, it was amazing. It was like finding a gem.
Was he like, this is from the old robot
There's some
wars.
old robot wars. And I said, oh, what's happened to it? And he went, oh, I don't remember that, son. I don't remember much these days.
It perished in the Great Robot War of 1912.
It never made the television. And I thought, oh, that's exciting. I'll like rescue it. So I rescued it. Oh, I paid for it, obviously.
They stole it from him.
And it looked like it wouldn't have passed the tech check beyond, I think, Series 3. So it's super old one.
Vintage.
Old one. And he did talk about the reason why it hadn't got on is there was someone had been injured. And I think that was Series 3. Someone might correct me, but it was either 3 or 4. Anyway, it's an old
I
robot.
thought you meant in the making of his robot.
No. So like someone got their foot damaged. A producer got their foot damaged.
Oh,
in
and
one
that's
of
why they brought in kill switch.
loads of safety switches and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that.
Okay.
So then I thought, I'm gonna spruce that one up. And then I thought, it's not my robot. I haven't designed that robot. You know, I've helped it. I've spruced it. I've increased it, but it's not my robot. So I then thought, no, sod it. I'm going to build Sabretooth for Robot Wars because Sabretooth belongs to Robot Wars, and that's where it should go. So
I kind of agree with you there.
yeah, and I switched her over. I then got Harry, grabbed Harry, and said,
Harry Hill?
Harry Hill.
Not the well-known comedian.
I think he's called Harry Hills, actually. Got out his little CAD pencil box and said, Harry, here's a scale model. Here's all the bits. Let's put a robot together. So we started chucking it back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a lot of the work there because I wasn't up to the scratch.
You're not a CAD man.
Not at the moment. Still, I'm learning though, and there's
He's
all
on
time
it.
to learn. And so once we got that, we had it laser cut at Leeds Sheath Engineering in Guildford. Amazing laser cutters. And
Okay.
once you get it laser cut, it's like having a Meccano kit. You can just start going. There's obviously machining to do and other bits, but all the main parts are done. That's what I love about it. You can just go, and then you start putting it together, and it's really cool. We machined all the bits. Rob did tons of machining. I did machining. Rob made all the wheels, which was a menace because from billets of plastic. We had bags and bin liners for the plastic. He made the drums. He machined all the drums. I had the teeth laser cut.
Sounding a lot like this podcast.
Was that?
You know what? He's just got this guy. He's doing all the milling, all the
work,
all the hard work.
and I just turn up and go.
You just show up.
Yep.
With your hair all nice done.
And the hair all nice. So anyway, stop that. And then we got it together and we finished it pretty much the night before it had to go.
Nice.
So it hadn't even been driven on the ground at that point when it went to Glasgow.
Okay, well now I'm worried.
And the problem is
6 weeks.
6 weeks. And I'm really pleased we did it. And I would still do it all again and still not have the driving practice. Because when we put it in the test arena and he said, drive it forwards, I thought, oh crap, what happens if it's not going to work? I pulled back on that stick. Mr. Will Bales had helped me set that up, which was absolutely a slayer. And the reason why I purchased the same controller and the same other bits as people I already knew is because I knew that I could tinkle people in the community who'd be able to help me. Give them a little tinkle. Oh, lend me some help. And he sorted me out. And that thing drove straight as a die and was awesome. Straight away. First I went like that. I went, this is amazing. I love this system. And that was it. That was ready to go.
I don't know. Is that too much of an inside scoop though?
What do you mean?
That you had a moving robot?
Well, it
Because
might
now,
well be.
Now we know in the show we're not going to see just a brick.
It does move about. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
And it looks awesome. I love it. It looks amazing. I know I'm saying that myself, but
Tooting your own horn there.
I am tooting my
You
own
meant to
horn.
wait for me to say that.
Do you know what the design brief is for that?
JCB.
No, it's a tank recycling robot from the factories of Detroit.
What?
That is its design brief.
What? How would it recycle? Oh, it just munches it.
It munches it moves them about, it crunches them up. Yeah, that's what it's the design brief. It's a tank recycling robot from Detroit.
Okay. Why is it from Detroit?
Because that's where all the tanks are made.
Is it?
Yeah, in the Detroit tank factories. And where have you been living?
I don't.
If you live in Detroit in 1940,
Oh, well, like World War II tanks.
yeah, there would have been a lot of tanks rolling out of the factories.
And Sabretooth's just
American muscle at its best. And Sabretooth's there, ready for when the tanks come home. They need to be recycled into useful items and goods.
Coke cans.
Coke cans, etc. And that was what it was.
Okay.
You're flabbergasted by that, aren't you? I always have a design. I always want a design concept behind what I'm building. Otherwise, I build a box. So this one here tells me a little bit more about what I want to do, how I want to go.
Nice. So you got it built and it's moving.
It is moving about. There you go.
What was it like getting to Robot Wars the first day? Going in there, seeing people you obviously know, a lot of people.
So I know a lot of people. What was great about Robot Wars was we sent Rob and Harry up in the car with the stuff. And Esme and I flew up.
This is
like rock
This is the
stars.
podcast.
This is it. So we went up. Rob and they went and had to drive in the car to Glasgow. Esme and I got on the plane, flew up in 45 minutes, an hour.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And we got in there and just... for a start, when we first got in there...
Did you fly first class?
No, we didn't. We did fly British Airways though.
What?
Yeah, no.
When I went up, it was £13.
Oh no, I flew British Airways with food.
Food?
Yeah.
It's an hour flight.
You don't want to get hungry though, do you? So
just have a sandwich before.
No, it was all laid on. It was laid on.
Well, you didn't pay for that.
What? What's that?
Were your flights paid for?
Yeah.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
When you've got a miner on your team, and I don't mean someone who digs up coal,
No.
I mean a child, then things are a bit different. Like I told you before, you can start doing a lot more, you get a lot more access to things. So we did have that. And when we got there, the robot actually had a speed controller broken.
What?
So
Was this Rob?
no, that was my fault. When we did the weapons test and the failsafe, I'd set the failsafe throttle to full blast and not to stop. So when I pulled out the pulled out the channel receiver off to do the failsafe test, which is a thing we all have to do, the drum revved up to colossal speed, and I went panicked, and I said, Rob, pull the link, which you should never do. You should turn it back on and stop it. But it then blew up the speed controller. So we went there with a blown up speed controller. So actually, when we got to Robot Wars, the drum didn't work. It drove around, but the drum didn't work. So I put Harry and Rob straight to work and said, I'm not interested in anything you doing or looking at anything. Make that work. There's a new ESC, put it in. And then whilst they were working, I was furious.
Did you crack a whip after
Yeah, no,
that?
I was a bit furious because I said, I've got to sort stuff out. I've got lots of forms to fill in, tons of forms to fill in when you've got a miner. So there's a lot of writing.
You get a lot of coal out.
You do get a lot of coal out.
It's
of
kind
it.
of
But,
worth
you know,
it.
it's and obviously those two are doing the business. I said, I don't want to listen to you until it's done. No looking at robots either. Set them to work. And do you know what? They got it sorted out. Grafters, the pair of them. They grafted, and I was having an ice cream.
This is just like the podcast.
So we are ready to go. We are ready to go.
So what was it like? You didn't really said what it was like seeing everyone, seeing all the other robots,
So first of all,
seeing the hangar. Where
so
it was
first of all,
filmed.
it's great to see. There's a lot of robots I'd seen before,
Mhm.
which I'd already seen from live circuits, and you've seen them, and they're like, I've seen that one before.
So
there's some great.
Which ones are on live circuits?
So who have we got from live circuits? So we've got Eruption live circuit, TR2 live circuit. It was then great to see some super old school bots there that you haven't seen and haven't come out, like Terra Turtle.
Thermidor.
Do you know the Thermidor dude? Because I'd never met him before.
Yeah.
So for me, I was almost like a bit of a fan for him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he doesn't see me as that because I've got a robot as well, so I'm another roboteer.
Yeah.
And to see Thermidor and almost go, can I touch it? And you like touch it. Whoa. And so Thermidor, that was an amazing.
He's in
robot.
on week 5, isn't he?
He's week 5. And then obviously you're going to run straight over to Razor because the Razor team are there.
Did you touch
So,
it
Of course, I always touch Razor. They don't. They let me touch it most of the time.
on the tip?
No, I didn't touch the tip, actually. I just rubbed one of the wheel edgings in a provocative way.
Okay.
I'll tell you, you have to see Razor because it's big.
Yeah.
Much bigger than you think. I mean, big. So you do get a sense of scale. I love it. So I'm always straight to Razor. Then you get some of the newer bots, which you've not come across before, which are giant versions of featherweight bots. So Ironside 3, which I think's in 5 as well, which has got a little version in the feather version. So it's weird to see big versions of featherweight robots that we've seen before.
Brothers.
They're older brothers. They've been built for Rebel Wars. And then Ellis's robot, Pulsar, which is that's in the last one as well, in 5. Looks like a Batmobile. Just a cool robot.
And
Awesomely
the
cool.
spin up. The sound of that spinning up
Is a monster.
Oh.
So all of those things were awesome. So just to see everyone there, to be in the place, we're all staying in a hotel as well. So it was really cool. Love it.
What about the hangar?
The hangar is lit in purples and reds. It's got green lasers over the top of it. It's just amazing.
What was it used for before Robot Wars? Do you know?
I think it was a factory, like a building, like steel girders factory or something. There's huge cranes in the top of it.
Yeah.
It was, and I say we got a laser measure out.
Yeah, Alex said.
Yeah. So Rob had a laser measure in his car, so we got a laser measure, and I think it was. Now Alex was unsure whether it was 90 feet or 90 meters. I think it was probably 90 feet high.
That would make more sense.
Yes. So, but that's still very high. So it was colossal, and it was all great to see all the factory bits, and they very much dressed the whole thing in the back part with lighting, which was, do you know what, it was enough. It looked really cool.
It was very an industrial look to it.
Definitely.
Which was awesome.
Definitely.
They're kind of going for that, aren't they? Like the raw, because there's no music in the fights.
Yeah.
The voice is kind of like very digitally.
Lots of people say about the
changed
music. I've not noticed the lack of music, actually. Maybe I never noticed music, but I've not noticed it.
Well, old Robot Wars used to have like a kind of like really industrial soundtrack to the back of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm getting into that already. That's nice.
yeah, well.
But the arena is bigger. I mean, people might say, oh, it's smaller. I think it's bigger. The flame pit is so much bigger. It's we walked into the arena.
Well, a lot of people have forgotten.
The flame pit's the size of like a king size bed.
Yeah.
It's huge, and you just don't get that sense of scale.
There's a picture of the 3 judges in the pit.
Yeah, exactly. And the floor spikes, I reckon. I'm holding my hands here, but I reckon they're like 100.
You set the
what
alarm
the
off.
hell was that? That was the badness alarm of going. Don't grip the shaft like that.
That's what you were doing.
He's
with your
gripping
hands.
as I did that.
Set the alarms
it
off.
set the alarms off, so I'm going to stop doing that. The spikes are big, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
I know how big they are.
Yeah, there you go. So
Well, it sounds like you had a good time.
Do you know what?
Regardless of how your fights went.
It was amazing. I love robot building. I love building robots. I'm so. I'm going to apply for BattleBots again.
Yep.
Because do you know what? Once you start building robots, I love the design process. Really, the fighting them is
A bit like Jerome.
definitely like that. I love fighting them. Obviously, I love fighting them when there's some hype and some competition, when it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in so much in the live circuit, although that is good and good for practicing and doing stuff. And we might well be coming into that as well. But
Well, you have a featherweight.
I do have a featherweight, yeah. And no, I'm going to apply for BattleBots again, definitely. Going to obviously, hopefully, get back on Robot Wars again. That would be really cool, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
And obviously, you've got exciting episode to look forward to.
So the episode, you've got.
I can't tell you about it, but it's episode D for death.
D for death, and it's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
We've got you guys at Storm 2, Terror Turtle,
Eruption,
PP3D,
Yeah.
Apollo, which
Yeah.
looks like an awesome flipper,
yeah.
and I've named 5.
What's the other one?
You were there.
I forgot. No.
Go on. This is your test. All right, who is in your heat? Go.
Who's in my heat? Terror Turtle, Storm 2, me,
You. Eruption.
Eruption. The other
Who's-
one, PP3D.
PP3D, Apollo, and then 2 more. Go on.
Oh my god, how do I know them?
Go on. You were there.
I can't remember them though.
You've not done well.
Alex said here, I'll tell you what, it goes into a blur. It does go into a massive blur. So who is it?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
He's looking it up on the BBC website because I can't remember. It's going to be terrible when
I can't believe you've forgotten them.
I've forgotten them.
But I thought, you know what, I
remember.
don't need to prepare for this because Gabe knows everything, but I was wrong.
We've got PP3D.
Oh, of course, it's those 2.
Who?
Can opener,
Oh, can opener. Yeah.
which is a big, that's a popular robot
Beast. Yeah.
on the live circuit.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Oh, Sweeney Todd. Anyway, so
What was that?
no,
What was that for?
It's
a good
great.
robot.
This episode is going to be genius. It's going to be amazing. This one,
Okay.
definitely. Oh, I think.
Okay, I'm a bit worried. Yeah, okay. Sweeney Todd is a 45-kilogram robot.
Exactly.
I don't know why.
But
I
it's
didn't remember
interesting.
that
It's
one.
got a really interesting drive system on it. So have a look at that. It's going to be exciting.
Okay. Looks like an old computer case.
It does. I think it is.
Oh, lovely. So thank you for coming on.
No worries,
It's a show that you're part of.
Yeah.
So thanks for
No worries, bud.
any sponsors.
Oh, sponsors. So my sponsors are. Have I got any sponsors? I don't.
So annoyed about this
So why?
because you're allowed to say your sponsors.
So my sponsors are Lead Sheath
They're
Engineering.
not really a sponsor though, are they?
They give me some cheap deals, and I'm working them up to being a sponsor when I've massaged them with this podcast.
Okay, go
This
on.
is massage time for them, and I'm tentatively looking at NPC Robotics as well because we love their motors. We love all the stuff they make. They send some great stickers. Make
I want some stickers.
some stickers and motors maybe. So we'll see what happens. NPC Robotics in America. Awesome robot motors.
Okay. Anyone else you're in love with?
Of course, wranglebox.com. I get a lot of stuff from those guys. Not free, unfortunately, but I do rate the store a lot. So he gets a free mention.
Cool.
And if you're out there, JCB, I can really
Start
do
courting JCB.
that. I'm courting them. Once I get a big sponsor, I'll be made. I'll be a robot king.
I mean, you could do it.
Robot king.
You're not a robot king.
Maybe an emperor. There you go. That's all I need.
Emperor.
Emperor.
You can't really have an empire with one
Emperor me.
half decent robot.
Shh. That's how that sort of talk did not get Genghis Khan where he got to, did it?
It's not much about a word with him.
Because
Like, look, mate.
if someone said, "Oh, Genghis, you're never going to get that far with that," he'd have gone, "You're right," but he didn't. He's pushed through. I'm pushing through now. So that's it. So this has been Inside the Bot.
You don't get to say that.
Say it. I can't finish
I
without you.
decide when it ends.
It's ending now.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on, Gabe.
No worries at all.
Best of luck in the show.
Thank you, sir.
And I've been Will Cedric.
And I'm Gabe. No. Oh, I've got something. I've forgotten.
What?
Did you know? This is a fun fact for everyone here.
Okay.
So, Pulsar, Carbide, and Sabretooth are metal cousins, or brothers and sisters.
What does that mean?
Some of their armour was cut from the same sheet of metal. Because we purchased the same sheet together, cut it into 4, and
bit
took
romantic.
pieces of. It's romantic, isn't it?
I like it.
So we share the same armour.
That is probably the most interesting thing you've said all interview.
There you go.
So, yeah, thanks, Gabe. I've been Will Cedric.
And I'm Gabe.
And this has been Inside the Bot.